Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Little River Medical Center. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm back at Little River Medical Center and I'm joined by Dr. Christine McGinley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you are.
I'm so glad to be chatting with you again. We have a lot to go over. Why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers what you do here at Little River Medical Center?
I'm a family practice physician. I've been here for almost 20 years, and I'm also the chief medical officer for all of our locations.
So you deal with a lot of different patients, a lot of different age ranges here. So we're going to be talking about Medicare visits, your annual wellness visit. What do our viewers need to know?
So an annual Medicare visit is an annual preventative visit. It's for anyone who's enrolled in Medicare, and for most patients that's typically at age 65, but for some patients they do have Medicare at an earlier age and they are also eligible for this visit.
So why is this visit important? What are some of the things that you go over during it?
This is very important because we discuss cancer screenings, including colorectal cancer, lung cancer, cervical, and breast cancer. We also discuss all the important recommended immunizations. So pneumonia vaccines, COVID vaccines, and the huge array of vaccines that are recommended.
Okay, and we were talking about this is typically for the patients that are 65 and older, but there are some cases where you would have Medicare at an earlier age. Are there any other screenings that you go over for your older patients?
Absolutely. There's a health risk assessment questionnaire. This helps look at fall risk. We address activities of daily living, such as can they cook for themselves, shop for themselves. These are important things for patients as they get older. We also address diet and exercise, and we kind of personalize a plan for you.
Oh, that's very neat. I like that. So this is something that's done only once a year?
It's done once a year, that's correct.
Okay.
So there's an initial visit when you first get enrolled. Within the first 12 months of Medicare, you'll have an initial visit. Then once a year after that, you can have the annual well visit.
Okay, and I know some people are probably wondering how long the visit might take too.
So it depends. At our facility at Little River Medical Center, we actually do some pre-work to this visit. So it shortens your time here in the office. But we have a team that reaches out to you prior to the visit. They're going to go through the questionnaire, the health risk questionnaire with you, and have things prepped and ready to go for when you come into the exam room.
And we talk about this a lot, about how Little River Medical Center really does take that time to work with your patients. You walk them through every step. Tell me a little bit more about why that is so important to you guys.
So as part of this visit, as we discussed, we're addressing the whole person, activities of daily living. If the patient doesn't have transportation, we offer transportation services to bring them to visits. We can also assist with if they're having depression, anxiety. We have behavioral health services here on site that can help. We have nutrition services to help with the dietary needs. So we do have a vast array of services for that.
It's a holistic approach.
That's
I've
right.
heard a holistic approach. We love that. So if somebody's watching right now and they want to make an appointment, what does that process look like? Do you have to be a patient already, or how does that work?
We are always accepting new patients. We can be reached on the phone. We have access online now. These Medicare well visits can be booked at any of our regular business hours, but we also offer now Saturday appointments, in particular for these well visits, for those who can't get here during the week.
That is incredible. Thank you so much, Dr. McGinley. I appreciate you chatting with us today. Guys, if you want some more information, you can go to www.lrmcenter.com. This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Little River Medical Center.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I am back at Bad Hair Salon today. I'm with Katie and Sarah. How are y'all doing?
Good, how are you? How are you?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
So here at Bad Hair, they're very different. They have a more natural route, but you guys have a ton of diverse clients and you have some pretty specialized things that you're good at. I want to kind of take some time to go into that. First, let's start with you, Sarah.
Perfect.
You are a curly hair specialist.
Absolutely.
This is niche, but it's not, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot more people that have texture that maybe either don't know about it or have never properly been taught how to take care of it. And of course, we have so many different textures, from the tightest of curls to the loosest of waves. And we're here to kind of educate you on all of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what you do.
I'm the bridal director, so I handle all the bridal organizing. I help everybody, send out their contracts for their bridal, for their weddings, and then I help organize our team here, like who's going to do hair and who's doing makeup, and we just have fun with it.
That's a lot to keep track of,
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah.
So what does a typical day look like for you guys here?
It just kind of depends on the day, but for me personally, again, it's a lot of educating our clients. That's something that always goes back to it. Every curly client that I am with, I go into like our in-depth process of how we're going to style, what we're going to use, why it's going to work for their particular curls, and really give them a personalized and individual routine that's going to work best for their curls. And then we can really break down the actual ingredients that are in our products as well, which helps with my InnerSense training and education. So not only is it great for great for them, but it's great for their curls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually, when you leave the salon, you think your hair looks really good.
Yes.
And then you actually can keep it looking good.
Absolutely.
Day after day.
Because we want to give you the same confidence that while you're in salon, that we send you home with that same routine, that you have the confidence to do it when you go home too.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Katie, it's about to be a real busy season for you.
Yes.
What is that like every year? It's got to be pretty rewarding, right?
It is. My favorite part is seeing everything come together and just, seeing the smiles on everybody's faces, the party, the wedding parties. And just, seeing it all come together is very rewarding.
Question. For somebody that is maybe going to become a bride, not naming any names, when would you need to book with you? Like, when would you need to start thinking about that process?
I would say at least 5-6 months in advance.
Okay, write that down.
Yeah, we do book up
Write that
pretty
down,
fast.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised though, a lot of people try to get in last minute, and we're able to work with them too.
I love it. And finally, I want you both to tell me why you love working here at Bad Hair. You guys definitely have a very different dynamic than any salon that I've walked into, but what is it really like?
So I love Bad Hair in general. It really gives you the environment to flourish no matter what your specialty is. We are so diverse, and that allows you to have, what you're the most passionate about. You have a great team of people to support you. There's education on everything, and if you don't know it, we also offer Bad Hair University classes every single Monday to our individual team as well. You can also come from outside as well too. So if there's a topic you don't know, whether it's regular hairstyling and cutting, curly classes, more specialty things, we have you covered. So there's always somebody who can help you, and coaches that are willing to get you to those goals that you want as well. So you're just set up for success here.
Yeah. I love how our whole team is basically a big family, and I love how different we are and how, like Leslie said earlier, about that we recycle every single thing. I just think that's amazing. Not a lot of salons are aware, that what we put out into the world and how it affects the environment. So
You don't know until you know, people. And now I know. All right. Thank you guys so much for talking to me. Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, draw it and sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and
Yes.
a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, filled with joy. So, I mean, me inside, that's just a good, heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, selling it, because, these are like my kids, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of, if someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
How can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.GullaGeeChee.FamilyFoundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. I have an author in the studio, John. Thank you so much for being here with me
Thanks
today.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's get right into it. You wrote this book called Visited Mom Today, and it's about your own personal experience with your mother, amongst other stories. Tell me all about it.
Sure. So my mother was diagnosed about 16 years ago with Alzheimer's, and for 13 of those years, she was in a memory care unit. And so the last 8 years, she also was nonverbal. And so I would take her to different areas in the nursing home, and I would have her sit with other residents, and I would talk to them. And these are a collection of the stories of the sweet, poignant, funny stories that some of the residents and I had.
I feel like that's something you don't see very often when we're talking about this terrible disease. Are good, fun moments too. So do you have anything that sticks out from the book, maybe?
Well, first of all, that is exactly right. I think there's so much out there about the science, and there's so much out there about the symptoms and what to look for, but there's really not a human side to Alzheimer's or dementia, so I think that's sort of where that fits. There was one woman that really sticks out for me. She was a nurse in her real life, and when she became a resident at the nursing home in the memory care unit, she thought she was working as a nurse. So she would greet me every time I came at the elevator and tell me how my mother was doing that day, and then would take me, down the hall to check in, and she was just in her element. And really the key to having these discussions is really you have to step into their world because they can no longer step into ours.
That's such a good point. Well, how long did it take for you to write the book?
It was over a period of the 8 years. And what I did was, these were Facebook posts that I did. And so they really started out as just posts for my friends to read and hear what was happening with my mother, and these kind of funny, sweet stories. And over time, people said, you have so many of these, you should be putting them in a book or a collection. And that's really what made me do the book.
I love when there's stories like that where the stories are so good you have to write a book about it,
Right. Exactly.
Well, I know somebody watching right now is going to want to know where they can find this.
Sure.
Where can they find the book?
You can get the book right now on Amazon, and you can just search for Visited Mom Today, and it should come right up.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina. This story is sponsored by Plexiderm.
All right, everyone. I have my friend Annette back in the studio today. We're going to talk about Plexiderm skincare. It's one of our favorite things to talk about.
It is absolutely my favorite thing to talk about. Thank God for Plexiderm. It really turns back the clock, makes you feel like your best self. So many people in my family use this product because it's simple, easy, and effective. And what we're looking at here are before and afters and the dramatic results you can expect to see when you use Plexiderm. Not only makes you look more refreshed, but it's a confidence booster, Katie, because let's face it, when you look good, you feel good. And this is Samantha. She started at a very young age with the puffiness, the dark circles. And this just goes to show you at the first signs of aging, you can benefit from using Plexiderm. It makes you look more refreshed, more youthful, like you had the best sleep of your life. Finally, a product that works as advertised.
I love it. And of course, it works on different areas of the face too. It's not just for the forehead or around the eyes. You can use it kind of everywhere.
Yes, everywhere, even the chin, mouth, and neck area. How many times have you seen somebody that you look at their face, it looks youthful, but the neck really ages us? The good news is Plexiderm works there too. I also have very sensitive skin. It has never bothered me once because they take silicates from this shale clay right there. And what it does is it creates an invisible layer that tightens and smooths the skin right before your eyes. If you've never used it, you need to watch it happen for the first time. And it is quick, easy, and lasts up to 10 hours as long as you don't get it wet.
And I know people are probably wondering how long it takes for the effects to happen, in your morning routine.
Yes, so you're gonna apply it on a clean, dry face. And again, you're gonna wait the full 10 minutes. That's how you get the maximum results. Even though with me, it always happens in under 5. Make sure your face is clean and dry. A little goes a long way, a pearl size amount. You're gonna apply it to the target areas. I use it for my dark circles, my deep set forehead lines, and then that's it. You can have some me time or take a before and after picture. It is unbelievable. I always call it my Plexiderm dance or the rise, Plexiderm and shine, because that's exactly what you do when you see these results happening.
And now guys need to listen up too, because this is not just for the ladies. Guys use Plexiderm all the time.
Absolutely. Guys love this product because it goes on clear, completely natural finish. They love it. And let's face it, they want to look good and feel good too. My husband uses it, my uncles, my dad. This product is for men and women.
All right. Well, I know people are probably wanting to know about the deals. Plexiderm always has a great deal going on. What's going on right now?
Yes, we have a deal for the viewers. It's a 6-day, 6-application trial pack, $14.95, free shipping, 30-day money-back guarantee. That is how confident we are that you are going to love this product. Turn back the clock, look more youthful, and still look like yourself. That is the best part. And Katie, I have one little story I'd love to share. I have a friend that's in her 40s that has been taking care of her mom with dementia. She called me and said, Annette, will this work? I look like I've aged years. I said, of course it will. I told her how to use it. She called me back crying, saying, I feel back to my normal self. Because let's face it, when you look it on the outside, it makes you feel good on the inside. And that's exactly what Plexiderm does. And if you want to give it a try, all you have to do is call 1-800-975-8083, turn back the clock, and just shine with Plexiderm and boost your confidence.
This story is sponsored by Plexiderm. Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.